Isavasya Upanishad is one of the most powerful Upanishad which has been a very great gift to the humanity. Isavasyam idam sarvam etkinja jagadam jagat. Dena daktena punjita makrudat tasya pistanam. This Upanishad of Isavasya Upanishad imparted to us. There are four important types of knowledge. It says the creator pervades the whole creation. Second, number one is to do one's duty. Knowledge and action have to be combined and not to be considered as opposite. We should view God and the world is being in a state of harmony, not opposed to each other. There is no difference between the creation and the creator. That is what the Isavasyam idam sarvam etkimka jagadam jagat. All this is enveloped by the Supreme Being, the Creator, whom we call as God, manifests the universe, creates this universe. This is one aspect of this Upanishad, which is a very important Upanishad. Whatever apparently moving or not moving, and that is Ishvara. The Supreme Being is not merely everywhere, He is everything. Knowing this, we pass the second part of the mantra. When the second part of the mantra says, Dena Vektena Bhujita, actually what it says, Dena Daktena Bhunjita Makrudat Tasyas Vittanam. This is a very important stanza. This says, be happy without the sense of possessiveness in regard to any object. It is commonly believed that possession and acquisition lead to happiness. But the Upanishad says the possession is not the way for being happy. In fact, there is no such thing as possession. For obvious reasons, a thing outside totally cannot be yours. That which is capable of leaving you for any reason whatsoever cannot belong to you. A thing that is yours cannot leave you. Anything which can leave you one day or the other, actually it is not you. Therefore, it cannot be considered as yours. Therefore, renounce attachment. It is another way of saying renounce the sense of possession. Happiness is a state of being and not a consequences of possessing. Therefore, enjoy and be happy. Summarizing this, all this that you perceive, see or contact through the sense organs, that karmendriyas, is enveloped by God. One great thinker said that if all the scriptures in this world were destroyed and if only one of this mantra remains, we need not learn anything else afterwards. Let this one mantra remain and all the scriptures be destroyed. This one verse is sufficient to save us. Isa vasyam idam sarvam etkincha jagadam jagat. Dhenam dedena punjida makruda tasyas vittanam. This one scriptures, if it remains, it is enough for this world. The second mantra says everyone has to do something. While the concept of absolute is the subject, the first mantra of the concept individuality is the subject of the second mantra. Very often a man may be tempted to think, I shall keep quiet because God has all the things and He is all the things. This is an erroneous notion about yourself. A wrong concept about your individuality which is crept in. The Upanishad says, do not be in a hurry, go slowly, do such thing that will gradually widen the concept of your personality or individuality. Act in a way which commensurate with the supreme universal personality of God Himself. This is done by the duty which is to be performed. Then the question will come, what is duty? You may do some work by way of participation towards the welfare of the larger whole. If you have done this, considering it as your duty, even while it involves personal sacrifice, then that work has some value in it. It can be called duty. The third point driven in this Ishavasya Upanishad is knowledge and action has to be combined and not to be seen as opposites. In other words, that there is no conflict between meditation and action, or knowledge or work. Most of us think the knowledge means knowing something, reading some books, accumulating information, having a degree, or acquaintance with the science and the arts of the world. But the knowledge is not necessarily this. The inner essence is not gained by ordinary academic reading. True knowledge is the insight into the being of the things, the self of all the things. A feeling of conflict between knowledge and the action appear to arise because of the feeling that the aim of knowledge is not in harmony with the aim of work. In actual fact, knowledge and action go together. Understanding must precede action. And action without understanding is a mechanical routine. One important point that we must remember is all actions are not liberating us. Only those actions that are performed without expecting the benefits of doing them count for liberation. Both the means and the ends have same connection. The fourth instruction of this Upanishad is there is no difference between creation and the creator. God is not outside the world, and the world is not outside the God. God is not extra cosmic, as some thinkers tell us. The pervasion of God in all the creation rules out any kind of extra cosmic existence of God. That means He is the creator, He is in creation. If a potter is making a pot, the potter is only an efficient cause and he is not the material cause. That he himself does not become the pot. He has an external material called the clay. However, in the case of God, there is nothing like an external material. He is infinite and He is everything. And the cosmos is His revelation. He is and He was in the past and in the present, and He will be in the same condition in the future as well. He is the creator and He is in the creation. This is what the Upanishad says, which is very, very rare knowledge. So, finally, read this Upanishad. Purnamada Purnamidam Purnyat Purnamudachyate Purnascha Purnamadhaya Purnameva Sishyate. Om Santi Santi Santi.